All right, I know it's been a while since I've done an inbox episode. A lot of things have been keeping me kind of busy. You know what I mean? The website, the distro, and all the other stuff. So, yeah. So here it is. Spatry's Inbox, Episode 4. Right now on Spatry's Cup of Linux. Okay, let's get started. Now, the best way to leave your submissions for Spatry's Inbox is at cupoflinux.com. It's the only way it's going to get my attention, kids, because, well, hey, I've got almost 500 episodes up, thousands of views every day, hundreds of comments coming in, and there's no way I can keep track of them. This is why I have set up the forum for you guys to use. So, in the forum here, we'll go down to where it says Spatry's Inbox, and this is where you can create a post. Just select the new topic button and put in your question or request that you would like to have on this show. Okay, first let's go with our most recent one, and this comes from one of my viewers, from Jay Dazikanen. And I hope I pronounced that correctly. I apologize if I did get that wrong. Okay, do you know of any good options for people who are blind and visually impaired who want to dump Windows? I love Linux and what it stands for, but I need a full-screen magnifier. Do you know any good distro software to use? Okay. Compiz has an excellent full-screen magnifier, as you will see here. All right, and you'll notice that I'm zooming in my screen, and another neat little feature is this will follow your mouse. Now, the Manjaro Cup of Linux edition has Compiz enabled on it by default, but I do not have full-screen zoom enabled. But let me show you how to do that. You would need to go into the Compiz Config Settings Manager. And in there, under Accessibility, you will see Enhanced Zoom Desktop. By selecting on this item, you can choose different zoom in and zoom out key combinations that you can use to help you zoom the entire screen. Alternatively, I also have a zoom in, zoom out box, which allows me to just zoom in a portion of the screen rather than the whole thing, and some people may find that to be useful as well. Okay, and to further answer your question, yes, there is a GNU Linux project with accessibility in mind. And this project is called Sonar GNU Linux. That is sonargnulinux.com. And here is there's information and everything you need to know on this. And I have an understanding this is eventually going to have a Manjaro base, so it'll be a nice rolling release model for you to use. I hope that answers your question. Okay, our next topic comes from Bad Donkey 75. He's saying he's using PC Linux OS 2013 and wants to try Manjaro more. PC Linux OS has no USB creators that work. I searched for making USB in PC Linux OS and it gives me a PC Linux bootable USB. How crazy is that? Okay. Well, so how do you do it? Okay. The one foolproof method that I know of for taking your images and burning them to USB is using the trusty terminal. Let's go ahead and open up a terminal here, and I'm just going to create a new tab since obviously I have screencasting going on right now. Okay, and then you can type this command in. That is fdisk tac-l for list. Okay? And what's going to happen is it is going to list all of your drives that you have plugged in. Now, if I were to, you'll notice that I have my main hard drive, which is SDA, and I have a USB drive here, which is SDB. Now, what you would want to do to write an image to USB is using the DD command. So, by simply changing directory to where your ISO resides, let's go CD, downloads. Or just CD and then CD downloads. I'm in the downloads directory. I can list the file contents. Obviously, I don't have anything in there. But the thing is, once you know where your USB resides, in this case, /dev/SDB1, okay, we would issue a command to DD. And let's just assume that I have an ISO in there. The command you would issue is sudo dd if equals name of ISO.iso, and then let's assume that it found SDC1, and that is my flash drive. Then you would type in the command of equals /dev/SDC, assuming that SDC was the name of the drive. You do not put a 1 after it. So you would just run sudo dd if the name of the ISO.iso of equals /dev/SDC, and then press enter, and then it would copy that image. But you must make sure you have the correct device listed, because it will overwrite the contents of a drive when you issue this command. But the thing is, this is the most foolproof method that I have ever used for transferring disk images, ISO images, over to a USB flash drive. I hope that helps you out. My next question comes from Misham99. Wants to know, hey Spat, where are the show notes you refer to in your videos? Okay, it depends on which videos you're watching. In my older videos, this one in this example is the detailed compiz how-to section. The show notes are located right under the name of the video, and this is the description. Click show more and it gives you all of the information listed in there, such as links and that sort of thing. In my newer videos, the show notes have moved. All right, you will see that there is a link to the discussion on my forum where you can post your comments or ask questions about that particular video. This is where you ask your questions, place your comments that you want me to physically look at, you know, something that will grab my attention, as stated earlier in this video. And then, of course, there is a link to the details. In this case, this is for Makulu 6 Imperium Edition. And there is a link to their website where you can get more details, information, and download and that sort of thing. So this is how I have the show notes set up for all future videos. So now everything will be handled, you know, comments and everything will be handled on the forum side of things where my personal interaction is required. Okay, and so yeah, I hope that answers your question. We Garnet wanted to know, hey Spat, 2 years ago, you did a video on your 5 favorite Linux applications. How has that changed? What are you using today? Okay, good one. Let me pick 5 of them. How about Kdenlive? Kdenlive is my favorite video editor. Obviously, that hasn't changed. I love the software. It allows me to do pretty much everything that I want to do in terms of video editing. So, yeah, definitely a plus. I recently switched to Player as my choice media player. This is a fork of SM Player. The reason I love this, 1, it's easy to theme. 2, this has a lot of really good features and customizations. Now, VLC has a lot of customizations and different tweaks you can do to it as well, but it's a little bit more confusing in its layout, where this makes it a lot easier, and it's every bit as tweakable as VLC. Also, I like the full screen controls that this video player has, and a bunch of other really cool features. Another neat little thing about this is it remembers all of my video preferences for every single video that I watch, so if I have specific zoom settings, it will remember them on the next time I play back the video. And yes, VLC does those same things too, but I just happen to like the look and feel of this one a lot better than VLC, and this one seems to be a lot less buggy. So if you want to try a UM player, just open up a terminal in Manjaro and just issue Yowert UM player and build your copy from Subversion today. I think it's great. I love it. And actually, I'm going to be including this in the 090 release of Manjaro Cup of Linux Edition, which will be releasing one day soon. Another one of my favorite programs, of course, is HexChat IRC. I love this client. This is a fork of XChat, and it also has a lot of really nice features. This comes standard on Manjaro Cup of Linux Edition, and if you haven't tried it, I suggest you take a look at that. Another one of my favorite programs is this handy little gem, and this is called Agava. And Agava is a great color picker utility that gives you the HTML color code number for different colors. And this was instrumental in helping me to theme my website and get the right color schemes and the right appearance for everything that you see here on the screen. I just love this software. It's absolutely amazing. It even is a handy tool for when I'm doing visual effects and chroma keying. So whenever I want to, save a HTML color code into the memory buffer so that I can pull that in and apply them to several different effects in Kdenlive, this has been very, very handy. So I highly recommend this if you are into coding CSS, doing video editing, or any task that would require you to know HTML color codes. And then, of course, everybody knows this is one of my favorite pieces of software. It's Compiz. What can I say? I'm a sucker for eye candy. Between Compiz and Kwin, they're both amazing. I just happen to like the Compiz effects and the additional customizations that you can do in Compiz. Unfortunately, I can't get the Cup of Linux mug inside the Kwin cube. But I really like the customizations and all the really fun things that you can do with this. It's quite amazing. So yeah, so that makes number 5 of my favorite applications for the Linux desktop. Okay, and finally, this one is a little bit long-winded. JStep has a lot of things. If Linux is to take over the Windows market, there are some things Windows does that are very intuitive to help navigate through the Windows OS. Right-click on anything usually gives properties of the object. Okay, well, the thing is, you can do that in Linux too. Also in Windows, to organize the desktop, it takes 2 or 3 clicks to make a new folder. Then a user can put it nearly anywhere. Okay, you can do the same thing in Linux. It basically depends on the environment that you are using. Now, in Windows, your desktop, your graphical user interface is a core piece of the operating system, whereas in Linux, your desktop is an application that runs on top of your operating environment. So, if you don't like one particular desktop, you can change it, make it something else. Okay, and then this goes on to talking about a computer that was purchased and that sort of thing. But basically, Linux isn't Windows, okay? Depending on the desktop you choose will determine what kind of functions you're going to get. For instance, I can right-click on the desktop and I can create a folder here. Okay, we'll call it New Folder. All right, and then I can put this folder wherever I want to. I can right-click and then I can open this. All right, let's navigate up. Here's that new folder. I can right-click and copy on the new folder, and then why don't we put it in my backup drive? Right-click, paste. I mean, how hard is that to do? It's not very hard to do at all, as you were mentioning in your article. So you should be able to move stuff around. It's not that hard to make shortcuts. Let's say I want to go into my menu here, you know, and there's something I want to add to my panel/dock, because I use my panel as a dock. Let's say I go into games here and I want to put Steam on there. I can just drag and drop that up there, create a launcher, and boom, here it is, ready to go. Each desktop will provide you with different functions, and part of learning Linux is unlearning what you learned in Windows, because you know there are different ways of doing things in different desktops. I hope that helps you out. Alright, so if there is something you would like to see on future episodes of Spatry's Inbox, please point your web browser to cupoflinux.com. In the forum section, just navigate down to Spatry's Inbox, which is right here, and go ahead and press that new topic button. Add your question, comment, or whatever it is you would like to see on this show, and once I have enough of them stacked up in here, I'll turn on the camera and create another episode. As a reminder, please consider supporting the show hosts who are bringing you the content you enjoy the most by disabling your ad blockers or shouting some coins. Peace out.